gonna do my best to try to get people into the chat, so you guys can play off each other once I.
In Podcast Detroit, recording live. Prepare yourself for a hoppy drive. If you're chilling at home, pop that crowler and just kick back for the next 2 hours. It's the end of the week, so here's to the weekend. It's Better on Draft with Rob, Matt, Nick, and Ken.
And we are live, episode 192, Better on Draft podcast.
192?
Yeah, we're also backwards here, which is really weird as I'm trying to get the mic to work, the volume to work. But yeah, live 192, right? That's right.
Yeah, the Sean Rogers anniversary episode.
The Sean Rogers anniversary. You know what yesterday was the anniversary of? I believe it's either 8 or 9 year anniversary. The Process.
Oh, geez.
Oh, Calvin,
the process.
Calvin Johnson. The Process.
The process. Although there is another anniversary for today. Today marks the anniversary of the death of Tupac.
Yes.
Tupac, Friday the 13th.
Yep.
He's not dead, though.
Yeah, no.
It's also about the 60th anniversary of a child drowning at Camp Crystal Lake and coming back and his mother killing a bunch of people.
Jesus. I mean, the Process and Tupac dying were pretty sad, but you didn't have to go all the way over there. Matt, what are you drinking to be so dark?
I'm drinking a Truly. Hard seltzer. And I just gave you the premise of a movie.
Oh, I didn't.
You didn't even like right before
Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
Jason
right.
Voorhees?
Gotcha.
Yeah, there
Gotcha.
you
Don't cha-cha-cha if you can't.
go. Yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
even catch it. My mind is 16 other places right now.
It's been an eventful week.
How
Yeah.
so?
Yeah, I bought a Subaru Crosstrek.
Wow.
That's a
Hobo Johnson.
Hobo
Frank
Johnson
Lopez.
reference. For those of you who do not know, he is a rapper.
No, he's a musician.
Musician, yeah.
He likes to say he's a musician, but he's a producer. He's a poet.
He's I find him very entertaining. He just dropped a new album today, so I think Matt and I are both going to go see him in November when he comes to the Royal Oak Music Theater.
It was weird because the first one's called The Rise of, and now it's The Fall of.
yeah.
I'm like, that went quick.
I mean, at least it's not like Billy Talent's albums are Billy Talent 2, Billy Talent 3.
I suppose it's less morbid that way, but actually, as I was listening to the album today, it's all music that's been on YouTube for months already.
Yeah, about
so,
half the tracks he's released them as singles, and then the other half are brand new.
So, yeah, I'll probably leave here, play some Madden, and school some chumps and listen to some Hobo.
Nice.
It's a good time.
You got your
Soft like a baby
Truly.
nut.
How many carbs are in that Truly?
100, but only 1 gram of sugar.
100 grams of carbs.
Oh,
That's
2
a
grams.
lot of fucking carbs.
2 grams, but 1 total
Damn.
gram of sugars.
Okay, so it's still a 2 gram can. It's not as bad, not as good as Bonavive, but
It's better than the White Claws.
yeah, better than the
Claws are
White Claws. There's another one that I had, and I opened up the first one, drank it, and I could tell, like, for how low sugar is in these cans and stuff, I could tell when there was so much sugar in one of them.
Was
I had
it Henry's?
no, it wasn't a Henry's. I heard Henry's was pretty good in regards to low carbohydrates. It was like a lemongrass and a lemon. It was like temper or something like that. I don't remember. I'll look it up real quick as I'm trying to go through with Rob. Rob, you got a Truly too.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know how to blindly pick cans out of a bag because.
Well, what was your other choice or option? I guess you could say.
The other option would be the black cherry Truly that Matt has, and there was a Williamston M43,
A Well 43.
Well 43 that was in there. That I pretty much just felt aluminum and just small cans, and I was already pissed off because I knew it was hard seltzer, and didn't really dig into the bag any further, and just said, "All right, I'm just grabbing this shit." And Matt then shows me that there's a Well 43 that's in there that I just completely passed over. So, yay, I have a raspberry lime Truly.
I want to see you drink that. At least sip it.
I'm sure you do.
I'll drink some, or I'll drink.
I mean-
one. I did. I was trying to go for a vodka and sugar-free Red Bull, but they didn't have vodka flavored vodka in the the little bar out here. So it was either get like Deep Eddy lemon or not. And I'm like, I'm not like, when you deal with liquors on keto, like you have to stay away from all flavored liquors, even if it's anything like that. Like I just have to stay away from it.
Right.
So. Because you don't know how artificial flavor it is versus if it's a regular flavor, natural.
So here's it. While we're talking about liquor, well, when you are mixing a liquor with a cocktail, are you of the school where you want to get the flavor of the vodka to match what you're pouring in or to contrast? So let's say you had a lemonade and a vodka. Would you get a lemon vodka or would you get like a lime vodka to be counter to have more flavor in?
See, for that, I kind of want counter. Just I don't mind vodka. I just don't generally like the end result and the finish of vodka.
Like the finish of the night or of the drink?
Of the drink.
Okay.
Like, you know what?
difference.
I'm just gonna wrap up this evening with some vodka. That's a good idea. No, it's just I gotta have something to kind of cover that up a little bit.
Because when vanilla Coke was all the rage about 18 years ago, I think it's that long, right?
It's
People were drinking vanilla vodka or vanilla, Stoli.
Yeah,
and vanilla Coke, and it just seemed like you were drinking a female vampire.
There comes a point where it's too much. There's too much flavor profile. Like there's too much vanilla. There's too much. Like I would never do anything that involved, like, say if there was a ginger flavored whiskey to go with a Werner's. Like I would never go like with a lemon lime vodka. I would never mix a Sprite or a 7-Up or anything like that. Sierra Mist with it. I just couldn't. I just couldn't do that. Like I just want if I want a flavored alcohol, then I'm probably just gonna shoot it or I'm gonna sip it.
right.
Like I don't want a flavored alcohol to mix with a flavor of a drink because the drink's supposed to complement it. Well, I shouldn't say the drink's supposed to complement it. The drink's supposed to hide the fact of how terrible that drink might be. Because if it's a good whiskey, I'm gonna drink the whiskey straight. If it's a bad whiskey, I'm just gonna mix it with some Werner's and go home.
Yeah. And is that your typical mix of choice? Is Werner's and shitty whiskey?
I mean, if I'm mixing like a 1-in-1, it's either Diet Werner's and whiskey or Sierra Mist and vodka. But I mean, like I only want to drown the taste of the bad vodka so much. So if I'm buying like Smirnoff or some shit like that where it just tastes like water, then I'm basically drinking Sierra Mist just to drink the Sierra Mist. But like we'll have later today for the shot of the night, I've got something from Spirit of York. I brought another aquavit, no flavor.
Oh,
No flavor, so it's just a straight aquavit.
well, hold on one second. What about Mountain Dew and whiskey?
I've had Mountain Dew and SoCo, which
SoCo. It's not even the Mountain Dew, it's the SoCo that's giving me.
which I mean, SoCo makes SoCo and lime now, which is kind of like right together. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with SoCo and lime. SoCo, I guess I'm with you where I want a flavor that cuts through the two chasers. So I get a different citrus with a lemon and a vodka, or I do like the highball whiskey, something where there's a flavor that kind of pierces both of it to like drown the thing. You just drown the cut. So I think I don't even know what flavor Southern Comfort is, to be honest.
I think Southern Comfort's a kind of whiskey.
Cordial?
And I don't. So for the amount of bar menus that I've built through my work, it's either it flows the exact same way as Fireball. Half the time it's in whiskey, half the time it's in cordial.
Where do you put Jägermeister?
Cordial.
Yeah, see, I'm more likely to shoot a Jägermeister than anything.
I put it on the shelf and leave it there. I don't touch that.
I think that's a cultural thing.
It's not a cultural.
Well, no, because I'm the German of the group where I was drinking that in the bottle.
Yeah, enjoy your Deer Master.
To be honest, and this isn't even me making a joke about Rob and his age, but I also think it's an age thing because I think Jägermeister had its prime showing back in the early 2000s, and at that time you're obviously drinking, your palate's a little more grown and you're drinking liquor.
It's really, really close in that cutoff because my friends and I, we would go to Canada. Obviously that was like the rites of passage. When you were 19, you were going to Canada and just enjoying everything. And I had Jägermeister when I was out there, and I just did not like it. It was just like cough syrup, and I was like, I don't like this.
Jägermeister for me is like sushi. you have to be in the right, frame of mind to consume it. Like you can't just go nothing in your belly and sushi. The same way you can't go.
No.
You have to have a coating on your stomach.
Yes.
You have to wade into it. But once you're into it, you're fine. I've downed a bottle once. That was not a good time because I had covered my belly with a full menu of El Charro's tacos, which is these heavy, huge ass puffy tacos. And I'll just tell you those colors don't run.
And then you make bean dip.
No, yeah.
And before anybody was possibly freaking out about the whole Mountain Dew and whiskey, look it up. That's actually what Mountain Dew was made for.
Really?
Yes, Mountain Dew was made specifically so that it could be something that would cut whiskey.
Before Dr. Pepper? That seems like a Dr. Pepper kind of thing, like Fanville.
I'm not sure before Dr. Pepper because I can't remember when Dr. Pepper came out because Mountain Dew was invented like right in the 40s.
I thought Dr. Pepper was like 1800s. I thought it was like
probably, but I mean that was the thing was that whiskey makers they wanted something they wanted a soft drink that would help cut whiskey, and so they invented Mountain Dew.
Dr. Pepper is 1885.
Okay.
And for Mountain Dew,
1939.
Invented 1940 by Tennessee beverage bottlers Barney and Allie Hartman. So then there was a revised formula in 1958, and that is your knowledge of Mountain Dew for the day.
It's not that bad. I was very surprised actually because it actually came up as a trivia question, and I was just sitting there. I finished reading the answer, and just like one of my moments in front of the mic, and I was just like, I have no idea what this would taste like, and I'm kind of scared of it. And 2 questions later, so one of the teams just ordered one for you, and just shows up at the table. Said, "All right, I guess I'm going to try this."
Was it SoCo with the Mountain Dew?
No, I mean it was basically.
But what whiskey did they give you?
I think it was Jim. It might have been Jim Beam. But I was like, yeah, this actually is enjoyable. I'm surprised by this because you never think that you would mix whiskey with radioactive skateboard juice.
We call us Ninja Turtle fans call it the ooze.
Those.
I used to mix Mountain Dew with some type of pucker.
Sure.
Yeah, like I obviously I was not
like sugar with sugar.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm not a big sugar kind of guy in the first place. But like earlier, like because I thought maybe because I would drink so much because you could drink so much pucker and not feel it that I would just mix Mountain Dew and pucker and just make a full thing. And then I started making mistakes like pouring an entire fifth of SoCo into a double gulp of like a double gulp soda and then filling the rest with whatever I was mixing it with that night.
The most impressive thing I ever saw was my last day of freshman year. I went to a party at Central, and this girl, she might have been 110 pounds soaking wet, and she beer bonged a whole pint of Captain Morgan's.
Oh my God!
And she was fully functional. Like it's
for
like
how long?
No, the rest of the night. It's like her liver had a liver.
Oh come on!
Like this girl was impressive. If I had the money, I would have given her a ring right then and there.
That just does not sound possible.
I was blown out of my mind, shocked.
Damn.
Yeah, that's before I could beer bong like beer, and she's sitting there doing Captain Morgan's. I was like, damn.
I had friends that would bong Jägermeister. I
one of the only ways to
would
drink Jaeger.
definitely do because they had a decent sized like funnel. So I would definitely go for the volume because I could easily, even at 19, 20, 21, like I could throw back beer like it was nothing. Especially because I'm drinking Coors Light, Miller Light,
Right.
40 ounces of Labatt. the easy things to drink.
Right.
And especially when it's in such a, I always call them like open container style glasses as opposed to like an open mouth glass as opposed to a can or a bottle. Because even like chugging from like a bottle is a pain in the ass because it's just
Because the bulb.
Oh,
bubbles.
not the bubbles. It's cold. It doesn't like fill your mouth, so it's just like slowly going in there. But like,
Boot heel.
Can you save that?
no, I can't. I don't know how to do that here.
See, and I had my friends were coming out of high school and senior prom and stuff. They were bonging Zimas, and that just led to a bad time. My goodness, it was like four. And one of my friends, he was a pretty decent sized guy. Played on a football team. One of the linemen. He was a good 300. And, it took maybe 4 or 5 of these Zimas to just pretty much put him into the shit.
Did they leave? You leave prom to go outside to come back in? Because I don't think.
This was the after party.
Okay.
This was at a friend's house, and it was just Zima all over the place.
I was gonna say, I remember my prom. They didn't let us out to go back in. Like you couldn't leave the premises once you entered.
Yeah. We were far. We went to way too swanky of a place. We ended up at the Dearborn Inn, and
Isn't that like a sex trafficking place now?
I
No, like it's not. It's a legit question. I think it's one of those places that are human trafficking like spots.
have no idea. I mean, that's-
you're more up on your human trafficking than we are.
I am.
apparently.
Yes, that is true.
I got no clue.
I keep my ear to the streets.
So is somebody gonna pass me one of the Trulies, or am I just going to?
Black cherry it is.
There you go. Easy
Now
enough.
you've had the
had a
White
Bucks
Claw
with
black
black
cherry, haven't you?
Yes, the White Claw Black Cherry did taste like seltzer water that like was near some black
I think
cherries.
you're gonna like that, Rob. I actually think you're gonna like that.
I don't like seltzer water, so it's,
Well, I tell you what, this is what the new trend is going to be because I just saw Oddside
and-
tapped their first one.
yeah,
tonight,
they did, and yeah, it is definitely becoming a thing where all of these breweries are at least making one. It's to me, it's just like it's Kool-Aid that's missing a shitload of sugar.
Well, why don't you give that one a taste and kind of walk us through what you think about it? Because I'm drinking this Almanac True Kolsch from Alameda Brewing Company or Almanac Brewing Company on Alameda, California.
Okay, I was like, it took you that long to figure out almanac, but
Almanac. No, it's not Alma. Yeah, it might be. It's not a. It's a very corn flavored beer, which I'm kind of upset about.
there is the School Harvest. They brought another 4-pack, and it's in the refrigerator, so
It won't be much longer.
you'll be able to go check that out.
So, Rob, thoughts on the initial?
Hold on, I need to do this again.
You could probably buy these Trulies over at Zatuna Liquor in Rochester Hills, Michigan, just south of M59 on Rochester Road.
Did he stock up for the impending seltzer apocalypse?
Well, we have the seltzer apocalypse of White Claw. I saw that, and I was talking to somebody online because we were about to load up Borderlands 3. He's like, "Yeah, I went to go buy White Claw, and they were out." And I'm like, "Oh, this is a real thing now."
So I saw a fraternity bought $7,500 worth of White Claw, which as
Fucking with my news right now, you know that.
oh,
right?
did you? I'm sorry. J1 Liquor in Utica.
Yep.
He posted a video of how much seltzer water he has, and I think it was a lady downriver, either in Monroe or Wyandotte. She had pallets at a liquor store of nothing but White Claw and Trulies. So people are stocking up like it's the actual apocalypse.
Can release. What the hell?
Like, I don't know where in the pipeline this bottleneck is. I remember when I used to sell beer and Corona would run out because the fine people at Corona are really smart and they have a 10 million barrel demand, but they built an 8 million barrel brew house. So, they did math really well. And when we got to that last 1,000 cases or so, people would buy the shit out of Corona because that's something that doesn't go bad because it already kind of tastes like piss.
So while we were chatting at
Not
the
bad.
beginning, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did make an executive decision, And I'm just going to give
Was,
away.
was that Kurt Russell executive decision or a Steven Seagal executive decision?
Did you get off? Did you tell someone to get off your plane?
I did
Wrong
not
movie.
tell anyone to get off my plane or get off my lawn or get out.
Get out.
Or the Canadian version, get out. I am giving away a $20 gift card to a random brewery. Well, not a random brewery. You get to choose the brewery.
I get to
And-
choose the brewery.
No, they do.
Okay.
Because
Oh, okay.
I mean, we have fans that aren't local.
Sure.
So that's
Yeah.
I don't want to give them a $20 gift card to say.
It's a tuna liquor. Were they gonna have the beer shipped to them?
If only we had a sponsor that
know.
was a brewery.
I was thinking outside the box.
Who could that be?
So they don't want to get like a $20 gift card to say Axel.
Oh, that still hurts.
So, yep, you'll get a $20 gift card. We're going to announce the winner at 7:55 Eastern. We're going to do this every week for the coming weeks.
Shout out to
Just
Dan.
on our show. You have to be listening to the show live on Facebook.
Shout out to Kevin over at North Center Brewing, where I hope the gift card goes.
Gift card can go anywhere, not just North Center Brewing over in Northville, Michigan, just south of Baseline Road over on Center Street. Go say hi to Kevin, Cody, play some shuffleboard, and drink some beers. They got their barrel-aged stuff coming out soon, Oktoberfests. Plenty of delicious beer, that is for sure. But we're going to be giving away stuff. We have some people talking in the chat right now.
We do. Hi, honey.
Was that your
Love
wife?
you. Dina's
Daughter.
on there.
Thank you for letting us borrow him tonight, Dina.
We have Sean Anderson saying, grab a Clearly Canadian. Is that a seltzer that I don't know about?
No. Oh, no. First, you have to, and actually, that was Shyler, I guess, who was watching. So, hey, Shyler. Not supposed to be watching a
go to
beer
school.
show. Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework. So first, Sean and I go way back. Like, I guess if you want to talk about it in my age, I've known him since the damn 60s. Technically, the
Which
80s.
60s?
Yeah. 60s. So when we used to hang out after school, we'd run over to the party store, and there would be bottles of Clearly Canadian, which was a carbonated flavored water. Which it kind of it was like in this segment. No, it wasn't alcohol. We were in elementary school. What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't know. You didn't say how old you were in the 60s. You just said we would go to the party store. I didn't think kids are going to the party store.
Fuck you, man. All right.
You said you guys would say it was the 60s.
Damn
You
it.
didn't say it was actually the 60s.
It's before Studio 54. So they had the Clearly Canadian, and it was like competing with New York Seltzer, which was another flavored seltzer water, which actually was really good seltzer water. And I guess for me, seltzer water to sugar content was balanced enough and was very enjoyable with the flavors from, cream soda to peach to mixed berry. Clearly Canadian was kind of that same thing. It was like a little bit more of an expensive carbonated water that had kind of those same flavors, and we would buy those damn things all the time. Now, comparing those to this Truly,
Let's talk about the Truly first. What do you think about the Truly?
I feel like it's false advertisement because there is so much aroma of raspberry lime that's coming off of it that the aroma is fooling me into thinking this thing actually has flavor.
But isn't drinking it like the experience of drinking like 80% olfactory, nasal?
I don't know
Why
why
don't you do
you're
this, Rob?
looking
Why
at
don't
me.
you plug your nose and then take a sip of that?
All right.
No, take
Yeah, I know.
and see if you can get any of the flavors or if it's
follow
just
some instructions.
sparkle water.
Hi,
So-
Skylar. Skylar's on now too.
I'm looking at it. So New York Seltzer was discontinued in 1994 and revitalized in 2017. So you can actually buy original New York Seltzer. So you can relive your 60s.
I say the last time, and that was plugging my nose. That was absolutely terrible. The last time I actually got a bottle of it, I was out in San Francisco about roughly about 4 years ago, and was hanging out with my buddy George out there, and was waiting for him to get off work. There was a party store across the street, so I just said, "You know what? I'm just gonna run over here real quick," and I saw like 4 different varieties of New York Seltzer. Like, holy shit, I'm getting this cream soda. No idea.
So I asked you to pour me this, and you only poured me a splash. Does that mean you want to drink the rest of that Truly?
I poured typical pours like we normally do around here.
I think this shit's good.
If you want this, then
Like I could drink.
You might as well give it to me because I'm the one that can drink it.
But you're the one who drinks these
I do
on
like
a
it.
regular basis. I
Like I went to the beer store this week, and I got I got a Truly. I got this 12-pack of Truly that I bought, and I was content with my purchase. $12.99 for 12 of these hard seltzers. You can't get a 12-pack unless it's like a Miller Lite, Coors Light for less than that.
But I mean, there's obviously we've got all the different brands that are out there between Truly, White Claw, Clear Coast.
Yeah.
You got Natty Light or Natty Seltzer.
Yep.
Well,
is Clear Coast the one from Perrin?
Correct.
Clear Coast is the one from Perrin.
Okay.
River Rouge made one. Oddside's got one. Atwater is distro, and Atwater is sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went
for a beer brand that gets so much shit.
They're like the number 4 seller in the States. So I don't care what
get
anybody says. People love it.
I don't either. I don't get it.
I actually went to the brewery since it's close to where I live. Took the girlfriend out there.
On Campo or in the park?
Campo.
It's a good solid place. That's one of the most underrated rooftop decks, I think, in the city.
Yeah, the rooftop deck was closed. I'm guessing staffing and because it was like a random night. With that in mind, I was like, I wanted to walk to the water for a bit. It was a gorgeous day out. So instead of walking from my place there, I just drove to Atwater. Then we walked to the water, walked the water a bit, went home. But yeah, I ordered a seltzer and they were out of all of their seltzers. So I wound up, they're a distillery or they contract distill. So Matt says yes. So I wound up just having one of their whiskeys. And
I don't know. I guess I thought you meant toward. I heard they contract their seltzers. I don't know if they contract their distilled beverages.
I don't know, and I'd have to look at the licenses to see if they have a license to distill there. But I haven't seen their distillery. But their whole production facility is huge.
They have liquor in the park because I think they're legally a brew pub, so they're allowed to have their liquors. But I heard from a usually reliable source that their seltzers were made by Brad, but those were not the ones that are now being canned that are otherwise contracted.
I mean, if you're going to scale, especially that big, and you don't have the team to scale, or the room.
Well,
you need the room to scale, and they just launched a new VJP. They did a raspberry or blueberry VJP that just launched not too long ago.
I guess there's also kind of a rush to market. Like seltzers are hot now.
Exactly.
If you can throw the money at a contract brewer to make you decent liquid, do it while there's still like a not clear market leader. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not going to take it out of Michigan, but maybe they can beat Clear Coast and be the Michigan craft.
Let's kind of go into the news because there's one thing in regards to contract brewing, and it kind of leads into it, and that is the purchase of the production facility of Rochester Mills.
That's
because true. The brewery that purchased them, which is Two Roots.
Well, the company is and let me bring it up. I believe it's. Oh goodness, I can't think of the name.
Lighthouse Strategies.
Yes, Lighthouse Strategies, the company that owns Two Roots Brewing. So Lighthouse is the company that bought it. Basically, from what I've been reading, they've had this plan where they've been trying to purchase all of these production facilities so that they can work their way up to, I think the one article said that they're trying to work their way up to 500,000 barrels of capacity. So Lighthouse pretty much kind of bills themselves as the world's first line of non-alcoholic cannabis-infused craft cannabeer, which, the German beer spelling on the end of that. And the plan is to create this non-alcoholic beer that's going to be the base, which that's going to be made at the Rochester Mills Production Facility. Then it's going to be shipped to licensed cannabis manufacturers in the area, which will then infuse the cannabis and then sell the beer from there. Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of moving parts here.
Take that piece first.
Take that for data.
Just go that piece first.
So for me personally, as much as I use CBD for my migraines because I get migraines, 4 to 5 a week.
Oh.
So some of them
we have to talk off air because I have something for you.
Okay.
Is it a house? If you sell houses,
we're talking about that
within my like I'll take Excedrin usually to succeed it, and then if it's more dangerous, worse,
Painful?
than Excedrin. I don't get nausea too much.
Debilitating.
Yeah, debilitating is a good
That's the
word
word.
for it. Then I go straight to a Tintric, straight 100% CBD. It's a like CBD liquid. So you put it.
drops?
Is that what
Yeah,
you like,
just
put the
drop
drops
it.
in your tongue?
Okay.
Yep.
Did you get that at family video now?
I did not get it in a family video. No.
Because apparently that's all they got.
Show them some A's on your report card. You get
Pornos,
$5
this
off.
I got this from a medical marijuana shop, so I wasn't going to trust some family video space to get quote unquote CBD, which is probably just hemp oil.
Yeah, not a
that
good
doesn't
idea.
have the exact same medicinal opportunities as the place. With that, I know we were going to have a CBD place in studio, but that got canceled when the guy stopped working for them.
He did that again.
This was a while ago.
Oh, the syrups, right?
Yeah. So I'd be interested because we had. I don't know what CBD does for those who aren't using it in the medicinal purpose because it has no high.
Right.
That's a buzzkill.
Well,
like
there's-
literally.
There's some CBD that has THC in it, but most CBDs and the ones that are promoting CBD are usually 100% CBD, no THC.
Which they say it. I guess
Is this
what
like
the thing
NA
is.
beer where there's still a little bit of
Yeah.
Well,
THC in it?
there could be because from what I've read, basically, if it doesn't say that it's FDA approved, then they could say THC free all day, and there may still be traces in there.
It's probably along the same lines of like gluten free and these other rules
Yeah.
and regulations.
So I guess-
how like Brewery Becker can never say gluten free
Free.
beer, but
Question for both of you then.
Yeah.
To start with you, does CBD have a flavor? Because I know when I've smelled
mine does.
smoked marijuana, I get this really, I don't know what you want to call it, funky, dank. I don't particularly like the smell, thus the taste of smoked marijuana.
I mean, if you said dank, people understand the smell of dank. They
Right.
understand of walking
So I
into a
guess-
311 and the Whalers concert.
if you were to, does
You can
your
get
CBD
flavors.
taste like,
Mine tastes like lemon.
so you get a lemon flavored
Yeah.
thing. So, okay.
The strand that I wanted or strain that I wanted, because I had like 3 different strains that I was looking at, but I was obviously limited till the what they carried, because obviously they're not going to carry every single strain, and especially because it's just a small local medicinal marijuana shop, they're not going to have everything come at the end of this year, starting next year when they start having all the medical or the actual marijuana shops and hemp shops here that you're going to be able to buy and purchase. I'm going to be able to get whatever strain I want, and I'm also going to have people who are knowledgeable within the strains to know exactly what they need, because I might start moving away from 100% CBD because my company doesn't drug test, so I don't know.
Right.
So-
I don't need to, but I just don't like THC.
I guess question for Rob though. So is there going to be THC in the beer? Because wasn't there a law passed that you couldn't infuse marijuana in beer?
It was like just
Literally
before.
right
it was
before
right
the-
before the vote. It was right before the vote in
so
November.
How is that? Is
So-
there how that could be affected here?
I mean, they can. I guess it depends on the laws of whether or not. I mean, obviously, it's still federal law that this stuff's still a problem. So it's not like it's not. To me, it sounds like it's still going to be illegal to even transport this stuff across state lines.
But Rochester Mills doesn't go across state lines for the most part, right?
Well, you also
this,
don't have to distro a said beer across state lines.
And I guess that's the other thing is that with this acquisition, that one of the things that Rochester Mills had posted on their Facebook page, and again, just as Ken has already said, that the purchase was for Rochester Mills Production Brewery, not Rochester Mills Beer Company. So the beer company is still staying separate. So all you will still be able to, according to their statement, you're still able to get all the milkshake stouts and
It's
there's
gonna be a
still
great milkshake
there's still
stout.
going to be the 12 there's still going to be the 12 days of Christmas, I assume, and all of their offerings are still going to be there. But they had posted on their Facebook page that they said that they are looking forward to seeing their brands on a national level. So essentially, wherever Two Roots is. I'm guessing that Rochester Mills is going to follow.
I think it's going to go hand in hand because you're going to be able to brew said beer. I believe they're in Nevada, by the way.
California, I think.
Is it Cali?
Lighthouse or
Roots,
Lighthouse.
California.
Lighthouse is in California. I believe they're in San Diego, or thereabouts in that area. But yeah, it's two roots is I believe is I think you said is Nevada.
I think that the goal is obviously to get the production facility from Rochester Mills, be able to do, because Michigan is now, you can do THC infused at the brewery itself, because obviously marijuana is legal in the state. The big things we're going to get is a huge non-alcoholic push, which I think we've been starting to see a lot more lately in regards to people wanting non-alcoholic beers. I think you're going to be able to see Rochester Mills distro a little bit further, a little bit wider, because I mean, they're I guess you could say they flooded the market, because you can go anywhere and find Rochester Mills here. So it's not
It's also
over.
it's a legacy brand too.
Oh, very.
Like, they've been here. They're one of the first ones. Like I would think like Bell's, Dragon Mead, Rochester Mills, Kunin are like the oldest breweries.
I always, when I think about Rochester Mills Brewery and breweries within the state itself, I always think, did I have to go to this brewery to buy a fall beer festival ticket? Because that's when you know there is so few tickets and there is no online ticket purchasing,
Right.
that you actually had to go to the brewery to buy the ticket. And if they were sold out at Dragon Mead, then they were sold out, but they might not be sold out at the Mills. So I remember having to like call ahead and be like, hey, I need 10 tickets. Do you have 10 tickets? Oh, I only have 6. Okay, let me call somewhere else. Well, I only have 5. All right, you save the 5, and I'll come both.
Right.
I'm trying to. I'm curious when Rochester Mills opened, though.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking that up,
95.
was it 90? Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I mean, I think I saw on their Facebook post. I think that they said that they have been. I think it was like 19 years, something.
Yeah,
like that.
there's a lot of breweries that are hitting like 19, 20, 21
Yeah.
right now that all opened up around the same time.
Yeah, but apparently on one of the articles that I was looking at about this is that Lighthouse had been working on getting a Great Lakes region brewery because it was reported back in June. And they wouldn't announce what brewery it was, just that they were having some issues with trying to finalize paperwork and I guess price and whatnot. So this definitely has been in the works for a while.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm surprised if they're going for a Great Lakes brewery and they went with Rochester Mills. I'm surprised it's not Stevens Point, because the Stevens Point Brewery in Wisconsin is that huge production facility that has so many beers that go through the facility itself. I don't think Brew Detroit would sell, just because I think they're doing everything local in regards to everything that they want to make local, which means like the Kid Rock Badass beer, the Stroh's Bohemian Pills, working with Travis for Detroit M43. Yeah. Obviously, when we had one of the VPs on, Joe,
Tim. I always call him Tim or Ryan. And it's never the right name. I think his name's Tim. He's such a friendly guy, too.
Very, very.
And if he's listening, I apologize that I never know your name.
But the thing
I think
is
it's Tim.
we had them on the show, and we were asking him hard-hitting questions about who he works with, but he couldn't answer any of them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, we got the names, because you can go to Brew Detroit's website and see they work with Saugatuck and Dragon Mead and a few other breweries. They might not work with them anymore. Please don't quote me. This is 2019. I'm referencing, like, 2017. But I think they're just working with Michigan only, because they were also doing that Windsor, Canada, like the Two Brothers, I think was the name of the beer. I don't remember.
Two brothers in a van.
Two guys named James?
I see what you're doing there. So remember how we said we're giving away a $20 gift card? We are going to give it away when we come back from break. This is Better on Draft Podcast, episode number 192.
I'm headed for the city, trouble in my mind. I'm way too young and pretty for things to be unkind. Time is all we have now, so let's make something while we can. I'm headed for the city to make me start again. Conversation now and then, gotta go, gotta get it. Don't make things go south, baby. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. I'm headed for the city to see what I can unwind. Always gotta start it to dictate, make it in this life. Time is all we have now, so let's make Conversation now one day. Gotta go, gotta get it. Don't make things go south, baby. These eyes ain't looking back home. No, I'm now by myself on this road.
And we are back, episode 192, Better on Draft podcast. As always, with segment 2.
Here is Robert with the beer news.
Howdy, y'all.
You know how I always hijack your beer news?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to do something real quick, and then we will actually announce the winner of the $20 gift card.
Okay.
So if you are in chat, just post you're in chat so we know you're here, and we'll be giving away a $20 gift card to your brewery of choice. We're literally just going to call them. We're going to give them a credit card. We're going to buy you a $20 gift card, and then the next time you're there, you'll be able to pick it up. Assuming they're friendly. And you'll have a $20 worth of beer on us here at Better on Draft. So Rob, give us one little, a little news thing.
A little news thing.
A little news thing.
All right. Well, as Matt kind of killed it a little bit, as I was going to bring it up, was there's been this talk of there being a White Claw shortage, or maybe just a hard sell. I think it was just White Claw in general, that there was going to be a shortage. I'm not sure if this is even related to the shortage, but apparently a fraternity in Texas decided to just go absolutely apeshit and walk into a supermarket and proceed to buy $7,500 worth of White Claw. I don't know if they got the variety packs, but I'm guessing that they fuck with black cherry because mango ain't in there.
Dude, those Sarasta girls, I can't call them toots, but those Sarasta girls, they're going where the White Claw is. So those dudes are on point. If it runs out, if the claw apocalypse happens, then they're going to be at that frat house, and those boys are they're gonna be bringing it in.
So I mean, they pretty much got outed by one of the supermarket employees who had posted it on Twitter.
Not even mad at them.
I mean, I guess that's just going to be the thing. But I guess the frat thought this was a good idea to just go ahead and just stock up on the claw. I guess the one thing I'm wondering is, being a frat and
fraternity.
and the amount of parties that a fraternity will generally run. How long do you think this White Claw is actually going to last?
It's in Texas, you said, right? Do you know what school it is or what house it was?
It just says that the supermarket was in Austin, so we might be talking UTA, right?
And their basic is basic AF at UTA. I'm just thinking. You remember the memes from about a year ago where it says, "Let me show you my pleasure room," and then it's like Xbox and stuff like that, or anime. Let me show you my pleasure room, and it's just White Claws all over the place. I would say it would last a month because let's just run it this way.
A month.
The average fraternity in the South typically probably is about 60 to 100 members. So on the high end, let's say 100. Where's my mathematician? My calculator is right here. So 7,500 cases equals 24 cans. That's 180,000
Wait,
cans.
no,
of
we're
White Claw.
talking $7,500, not 7,500 cases.
Okay, so let's say that White Claw is $14.99 times.
I mean, I would say just look at $1.25 per White Claw.
Okay,
For
sure,
bulk buying, I think $1.25 is fair for.
All right. Well, so at $16, that's 460 cases of White Claw. Or
6,000 cans of White Claw.
Okay.
Damn.
So yeah, that would last 60 days at 100 men, one a day. So that would that's like 2 parties worth.
2 parties. That's all you're getting through.
This is the one time where like Nick, the fraternity guy, at least for Wayne State. Yeah.
I had a bigger fraternity.
How many people were in your fraternity?
Then there were like 7, but now there's like 120.
I mean, Nick's fraternity was pretty big in regards to like each graduating
So how did he get in?
class. He met the height requirement.
Oh my God! You're gonna just crack on his ass when he's not even here.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
probably sleeping because he's about to go do a bunch of work
Yeah,
for the next
exactly.
3 days because of these storms. In regards to Nick's fraternity, because I went to so many fraternity parties there, the average party there would probably be, for the good ones, 250 to 300 people per party, and that's if they're drinking like from there, because obviously they're buying Busch Light from the local store at $50 a keg. They're not buying anything crazy.
Actually, I did the math. There's 11,400 cans of White Claw in that purchase.
No, you went backwards, I think.
No, so I did 7,500.
7,500 at $1.25 per White Claw.
What I did was 16.99 divide by the other way. 7,500 divide by 16.99
Okay.
brings me to 441 cases
Okay.
times 24 because 24
Cases are 12, not 24 of White Claw.
no, there's still 24 in a case. There's 12 in a pack.
I should go to Costco.
You're not getting 24 White Claws for
okay, fine,
$16.99. You're getting 12.
Okay,
White
that's still
Claws.
5,297. So that's 52 cans. Yeah, I think you could do 60 days.
I don't think anyone's going to trust us with math for giving away a $20 gift card.
All the White Claws. Only giving away White Claws.
All the White Claws. All the White Claws. It's
Ken, how do you feel about Truly versus White Claw though?
I mean, they all kind of taste the same.
disagree.
They're all just alcohol in my belly.
I think there's a major difference between the major brands.
If you gave me a blind taste test, I probably could never tell you the difference.
I would bet you I would
Or
be
do a blind test to see which one I like better.
I would bet you I would be as good, if not better, in hard seltzers than I am in college football mascots and
damn.
logos.
And I mean,
Chanticleers is still haunting me.
I was really hoping that you would have got that one back after, because I thought I was giving you the opportunity to do it, but also you had bad luck of like every single odd name you gave them were the easiest
I listened
schools
to the show
that we
again the other
know.
night. I'm like, God,
Right.
and I went back through it and I got them.
so one thing I wanted to bring up because there was.
Is it about the White Claws? Because I still got to give away $20.
Yeah, you do still have to give away $20. So give away the $20 first,
Okay.
and then they'll bring up the question.
All right, Rob, give me a number between 1 and let's say 10.
6.
6. All right, let's
think
go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6, Brad Reisner. I don't know. Reisner. Brad, you are the champion of the random pick.
I'm a champion.
Therefore, you are going to win a $20 gift card to the brewery of your choice. We will reach out to you probably in the next 2
He's
hours.
listening right now. Have him.
He is, but I don't want random people to know how to get a hold of us that might say they're Brad Reisner, but they're really not Brad
Well,
Reisner.
if they get a hold of us on Facebook, it says who they are right there.
He literally posted like 20 seconds ago, so he's here.
He's
Anyways, you're going to win a $20 gift card to the brewery of your choice. We're going to be doing this each and every week that we are live on Facebook until I deem to not do it anymore. With that in mind, Rob, continue.
All right. So I was.
Wait, Matt, what were we going to
In
say?
the spirit of picking numbers,
Yeah.
would you like to pick a number 1 through 3?
2.
Okay.
it
So I need you both to close your eyes.
Despite the fact, actually, and just quick shout out. First beer that I did crack open was a Juice Box Double IPA from Great Notion, and I was about to open a
Nope, don't have
every Trillion Ever collaboration between Trillium and Other Half, but now I have to suffer with whatever is under bag number 2.
No, so what we did is I bought tickets to the Old Nation W43 release, and one of these is W43,
Okay.
one of these is M43, and one of these is the worst rated New England IPA on Untapped.
I want to know what the worst rated New England
Worst
IPA is
rated
on
it-
tap.
So we're going to drink all 3 of these.
Did Shipwreck make a New England IPA?
They weren't even around that long. So what's going to happen
too
is you just
easy.
pick number 2. You guys are going to close your eyes so I can pour them into these glasses because you need to see the color
Right.
of the New England IPA.
All right. Eyes are closed.
Tell me when you guys are.
Just
Eyes are closed.
Sitting here
This is
just-
going to look so weird on video.
I know, on video,
but
I'm just kinda
at
just
least on
sitting here.
video, like we can see that the eyes are closed.
right. So I guess while he's doing that, I'll bring up my question.
Rob,
here.
do you like any hard seltzers?
No.
Okay.
How many
No.
have you
You
had?
guys can open up.
We can
Enough
open.
to know that I don't like them.
This is number 2.
This is number 2.
This is either Well 43,
Damn it.
M43, or the worst New England IPA on Untapped. So I really hope you guys pick right. So we're gonna drink all 3, and you're gonna
This
say
is
what
so
you
weird
think is what.
I don't like.
You don't like IPAs, period.
But I think you could be able to decipher the difference between the 343s.
Hold on a second.
I mean, you pour like an asshole.
Well, it's part of the charm of these New England IPAs is they have so much head, right? Am I wrong,
I think you're wrong here.
Rob?
That is, well,
I think that's the Well 43 is my guess. I don't know without any reference.
Well, I know the answer, and I always wanted to drink these 2 side by side to see if I could taste the difference. Ed says, our blogger Ed,
he's a good guy.
yeah,
yes, he is.
He was
Great,
just at
good
the UP festival. I'm going to try to get him in studio so we could talk about all the festivals he went to this year because he went to a lot of festivals.
Yeah.
He went to Burning Foot. He went to UP, Summer. He went to Great Taste of the Midwest and represented better on draft.
Can I tell you a funny story?
You can say all the stories you want until I decide to mute you.
So I was pouring for Jamex because they're lovely people, and they
Up at the
allowed
UP
me-
Beer Festival.
and we were finishing pouring, and people were still coming up to us because we didn't get the whole stop pouring at the stop pouring time.
Gotcha.
Right.
And Jeff, the brewer, is unhooking all these hoses and turning off all these tanks. So I'm like, all right, I'll help you. And I start unhooking one of the hoses. Well, that hose still had pressure to it. So
Oh my god!
I take this hose off, and it's literally
That's-
shooting everywhere. So there's people going by, and I feel bad. So what do? I grab the hose, and I put it to my chest because I'm wearing my beer box hoodie. Super comfortable hoodies and great merch. They go out to this week. And I figure, well, this will at least stop it from spraying on everybody. I've got a hoodie on. It'll at least soak everything up, and we're good. And then then Jeff, God bless his soul, is fumbling with everything that he can possibly fumble. And I'm literally just in this. It felt like an hour, but it was probably like 120 seconds. Just beer is just pouring down on me. I'm wearing a black hoodie and white shorts, and like from my crotch will reach, it's a Marzen beer. So I have this dark V starting in my front and getting to my knees.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Rob, what do you think about this beer that I poured?
I have no idea.
It wasn't bad.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it has.
You've got to hurry up and finish so we can
I'm just
So we can pour the
clean up-
Stroh's
yeah,
Bohemian.
clean the palate.
All right.
I'll clean the palate with some water, some hard water.
What do you have another story to tell us, Rob? Well,
Well, actually, I was going to ask a question because Sean had brought it up in the chat, and basically said that Mike's hard lemonade of yesterday equals the hard seltzers of today.
Not at all.
I fully agree.
I think he's
In
talking
regards
just in
to-
terms of the craze.
Hold on. I will shut it down right now.
Oh shit.
Shut that shit down.
White Claw is outselling Budweiser.
Yes.
Mike's Hard Lemonade never outsold the number 3 or number 2 beer in the world. And as much as there's still like there's Bud Light and then it's the rest. Like there's a level below Bud Light, like that goes to like Miller Lite, Coors Light, Budweiser. Like there's still a huge gap there, but Mike's Hard Lemonade never got to that. Now the hype, maybe, sure, why not? But actual sales, revenue, and barrels going out, no, not at all. I will 100%.
I think, but Rob's
disagree.
talking about the craze, the reception, and I think that's kind of the proof in if you think about Angry Orchard and ciders when they came out, there was a huge, big.
And you're talking about things that were alcoholic where people didn't like beer. And it was, and that being the alternative.
And it wasn't a wine or liquor.
And I
It
remember,
wasn't a wine or liquor.
I remember a party that like a family and friends party that I went to. It was and one of our family friends. I mean, my family drinks Labatt and Michelob, and one of them was drinking a Mike's Hard Lemonade, and me as a wisecracking, I don't know, 10, 12, 13-year-old said something smarmy like, "Oh, did your wife give that to you?" Again, it's a guy that I call uncle, so I mean I can say those things.
He could also throw your ass out a window too. Shit. You're
And
small
he
enough.
says to me, "Well, I'd rather drink this when it's cold and refreshing, or in a July day, than beer and get all, frothy and bloated." So I mean, this was the same kind of thought and conversation that our parents were having back 25 years ago.
But I guess
So
here's
in the
Okay.
chat, which you can join us each and every Friday night that we are live on Facebook. Pamela is saying White Claw and Truly are great. Tony is saying in terms of the market, that's still not accurate. Ken has it spot on. Thank you, Tony. Mike Smirnov Zima never hit the sales that seltzers have, which
I'm not saying they did.
we're on the
We're
same-
just saying the craze that followed them was.
Well, I guess not
and-
only the craze, but go ahead.
And the last one, Brad Reisner said that the hard seltzers are selling 2-1 over everything else at Rosa Blanks in Cadillac, Michigan. I'm assuming that's a bar.
Way to throw that in there, Brad.
Way to get a drop, Brad,
I mean, hey, he gets a $20 gift card and a drop.
to Rosa
Right.
Blanks.
Right.
So, Ken, you want to pick number 1 or number 3?
I think it's supposed to be called Rosa Blanca, as I'm doing.
Yeah,
Because of
right
the
on
giant-
Street Fighter Blanca.
because of
That's
the
better.
giant Spanish contingent in
Listen,
Cadillac,
it's
Michigan.
got a 49.5 out of on Facebook, so I mean, it
So are we-
doesn't look too bad.
Ken, are you going to do number 1 or number 3?
We're gonna go number one
one.
because I
We gotta close-
am number one.
All right,
Okay,
eyes,
Nelly.
eyes are closed.
All right.
Now, while you're doing that, in terms of this whole the mics and seltzer, do you think that seltzer, the hard seltzer, is going to have the longevity that Mike's has? Because obviously Mike's is still sold, so it's still here. I mean, my grandma's
Mike's-
89 and she still
Mike's-
fucks with it.
Mike's has had a rebirth recently prior to the giant.
Not
like,
yet, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Still not yet.
Okay.
Now you can
Prior
open.
to the giant. Can we now?
Now you can open.
Okay.
To be fair,
To be fair, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, obviously you can see that our eyes are closed. You could probably see what the beer that he's pouring is.
they
so
could
Right.
if they were on.
We
Facebook.
have
No
No
spoilers.
idea.
No
So
spoilers.
No
again, we're
spoilers in
drinking
the Facebook
Well,
chat.
43, M43, and the worst rated New England IPA on Untapped, according to.
So
Untapped.
Rosa Blanca is a store in Cadillac, Michigan. So there is your free plug there, Mister.
It's a store, so I guess it's probably. People are going to retail. I think it's selling better at retail than it is on premise. Rob, you just took a sip of that. What are your thoughts?
No, sir. I don't like it.
You don't like this, Ken? What do you think about this?
It's just
That would be like if you described like how you mentioned dank and wheat, like this is what a basic M43 basic New England IPA.
Okay.
We're calling M43 we're calling Band-Aids bandages.
But I think, I think that's the. And we talked about
tissue.
this.
You mean a Kleenex?
This is the new style. Like M43 will be the flagpole holder for all New England IPAs and White Claws
In
and Trulies.
Michigan.
Regionally, maybe. Or do you think-
Regionally, I'll say yes, but remember
I guess Head
the
Topper-
best New England IPA at GABF was made by some brewery in Chicago that
My
we've
thought
never
is-
heard of, never drank. And
So maybe at this table, when we think of New England IPA, we think M43.
Yep.
When we think of seltzer waters, we'll think of White Claw.
Yep.
There will be plenty that come and go into the space and leave the space, but I think you're just going to have your Kleenex or your Band-Aid moment. And Rob, you're really nursing that one. Is that?
I mean, I think that this
isn't that good.
I feel like this is the Well 43 because it feels like it has a little bit of like that tang that M43 has, but it's mellower and smoother. And I actually want that kind of tanginess that comes off of the M43. So it's if this is a Well 43, it's kind of a miss for me.
Is this better than the one we just drank, or worse than the one we just drank, or on par with?
I mean, and the funny thing is that when you talk about stuff that is the worst rated, it's obviously it's subjective because we have a sponsor that has a saying that says if you like it that it's a good beer. I can't remember who that is.
We already did the
That's
drop.
North Center Brewing. I mean, we can drop them again.
Yeah.
Kevin's a good guy.
It's I don't know if it's worse. I don't think it's worse. It's just
Different,
it's just different.
equal but different.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're Jim Crow in the cans beer.
Oh man, I was gonna go separate but equal so fast, but I said no, we're not gonna go there, Donkey Kong.
I still want to do a go-kart thing. I think it'd be fun.
I'm not being fucking Donkey Kong, all right?
Okay, you can be princess then.
I'm all right with that.
Princess
I'm
Peach.
secure in my
He
masculinity.
could be Yoshi because he's old as a dinosaur.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a stretch? I got no response from that. I feel like
Yeah.
that joke was a lot better than it. Like that's okay. I laughed in my head.
Yeah, it's just different. It's not worse. It's just different.
Okay.
I'm just not really sold on it.
We got another 10 minutes. Let's do another news story before we pour this final one.
All right, gonna do another
Give me one
news
of your
story. Which
glasses so I can wash it out and put,
all right, take that
put
one.
one of the 43s in there.
Right. All right. So we're gonna go into the other acquisition that happened recently, being what the hell do you want?
I don't know.
Fucking
That is,
say it.
anyway,
You
here.
want me to drink this shit?
Yeah, rinse your palate out, clean that can, and
Alright.
put it here so I can put
Fucker,
in
I'm trying to do
number
damn
3.
news. Fuck, goddamn it.
We have a show to do.
We're live.
Right? We're trying to do it live.
Fuck it, I'll do it live.
All right. So with our other acquisition that happened this week, I was trying to have some fun with the caption on this one, and I called it "Dear Right Brain." It's not you, it's me. Delete my darling dark horse. So obviously, if anybody hadn't seen the news, that ROAK was in the process of acquiring Right Brain a few months back.
Yep.
And apparently it just didn't work out. So that deal fell through. And before you know it, all of a sudden, ROAK finds another partner in doing a partnership with Marshall, Michigan-based Dark Horse. The ownership transfer paperwork has already been filed with the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. And if everything goes through, that is all going to be finalized in December, as soon as December. From what I've read is that both ROAK and Dark Horse will share their sales forces and financial resources, but will still attempt to maintain in the state's beer market as separate entities, sort of, obviously, because ROAK's just going to own them both. But yeah, outside of that, there's going to be no change in either company's product or production at the time. Or, if you go and ask Dark Horse, they may just say that they plead the fifth. Still love that beer.
But before you continue,
Okay.
one of the big things, we as Better on Draft were well aware of Dark Horse's issues that they're having. 2, we were aware of the purchase prior to it knowing. But one of the things I want you guys to know.
Were you privy to the purchase of Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Oh, was this part of the no comment thing that you got?
Yeah.
You mother trucker.
We're like a current fan.
in,
Did you know this?
in regards to this, I want to
Am I the only one
reiterate.
who didn't know this?
Yeah. In regards to this, we want to reiterate that we are not gotcha journalism. We're not TMZ. We're here to spread the news, share the news, and promote the business of beer in Michigan. Beer, and when we say beer, we mean beer, mead, wine, liquor,
Fermented beverages.
fermented beverages. I mean,
Kombucha.
even non-alcoholic beverages. Well, like if a soda company wants to come and talk to us about that, we'll definitely come and bring them in. And,
Oh yeah, craft soda,
and
bring
promote.
that shit in.
But again, we are not. I love how you coughed and this Truly can right in the center got hit.
because he pulled the cord.
With that in mind, we're not, again, gotcha journalism. We're not here to spread rumors. We're not here to be like, oh, this is in the rumor mill. This is what's going on. This is just, you'll know before we know. And let me rephrase that. You'll know before we talk about it on this show. So we talk about it each and every Friday. I've talked to John Leone, who is one of the main players over at ROAK. We're definitely going to have him on here soon to talk about as much as he can. But again, it's one of those things to where, we don't comment on anything till it happens because that's just not our place.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Rob, continue.
All right, so kind of in the way that this has all been kind of brought up and looking at, like you were saying about Dark Horse's struggles that they had in the past year or so. One of the big things about Dark Horse is that when the 2018 numbers came out as far as barrelage from these breweries, it's a very significant difference with what happened with Dark Horse, because in 2017 they had produced almost 11,500 barrels. I think it was 11,447. That and let me back up a little bit, because these numbers they're reported in the Free Press, and this is what was sold in Michigan. So just I'm not sure if they distro outside of the state. I can't think of it. I think they do, but I think I'm not sure at the moment. But so this is basically what was sold in Michigan. So it was like 11,447 barrels of beer that was sold in Michigan in 2017. 2018, it was just over 4,650. It basically was almost a 60% decrease.
Now, do we know why that occurred?
I don't know why that occurred. There was a lot of rumblings that had been going on, and I'm not going to throw out speculation as to why those numbers went down. But in making this merger, I kind of wonder where it's going to lead at this point, because here is ROAK, who, when we had them on the show the first time, it was, hey, we're making this brewery, and fuck it, we're getting ready to distribute right out the gate.
That they were distributors who went into the beer game.
Right.
I don't remember much of that show. That was the Heady Topper, the brewery.
Blow Your Face Out.
Oh yeah, that was Blow Your Face Out
Blow Your
before
Face
it
Out.
got launched. That was like as it was getting launched, we had Blow Your Face Out.
It was Blow Your Face Out and the Black Tuesday. At
the Black Tuesday.
The 20.2% ABV Black Tuesday.
Are we ready for number 3, by the way, Matt?
It's up to you guys. I didn't want to break up the conversation.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna get number 3 done, and then we'll discuss a little bit during the break, and then we'll have our live stuff. So, all right, eyes closed.
Eyes are closed.
So yeah, that episode with ROAK with John Leone, we had the head brewer there at the time. I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah.
From ROAK itself. Yeah, that was a very, very drunk show, to say the least. That might be on our archive feed and not necessarily our regular feed for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm waiting to see, and I'm just curious to see where this is going to lead. And I mean, obviously, just like any other brewery acquisition merger, it's always it's something that always reminds me out of the NFL playbook, where everybody is always, we were operating in all 3 phases and this and that, and having that locker room press speak, that the breweries will always seemingly say the same thing, that nothing's going to change, everything's going to be, we're going to make our beer, they're going to make their beer, we're just going to have this happy marriage. And here comes this merger, and I'm like, okay, so where's this going to be in 5 years? Where obviously where it is now is where it's going to stay, because they want to see how everything runs, and probably make changes from that point. But I feel like 5 years from now, Plead the Fifth is going to be ROAKs. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be changes.
I guess it just seems to me, and maybe there's a reason behind all of this, that ROAK was just fancying for a partner, and they were just willing to go wherever it took to get that.
Or did they just need production room?
Perhaps, but at the same rate, then why did they not just go to Brew Detroit or another contract brewer? Like what?
Well, I guess that's the thing. Brew Detroit's kind of busy. Why not just take over one when you can take over an entire facility?
I mean,
why not take over Rochester Mills? That'd be a safer play.
I don't think they had the money to take over Rochester Mills.
Well, I guess it seems like they were looking for a dance. I mean, I can't imagine that Right Brain and Dark Horse were on the same level. I mean, they're not even the same level. Like, I don't think they're in the same level beer world. I think like Right Brain's an 8 and Dark Horse is like a 350.
So I'm gonna we're up against a break. We got about 2 minutes, but I'm gonna say this very, very cautiously and nicely. Dark Horse was in a place to sell.
You drop that much barrelage, I feel like you.
Whereas Right Brain or Rochester Mills even was.
Did you hear something from the one of our many time guests that I heard as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As well as other employees of that company. There are a lot of things that we heard. I think Dark Horse needed a buyer or it was going to go under. And I think ROAK had the money to buy it, salvage it.
But there's nothing in Marshall, Michigan. Like literally,
but there
Marshall,
doesn't
Michigan.
have to be. You're talking about a brewery that essentially started off feeding off of distribution. So if you buy Dark Horse to have the production space, you don't need to have anything in Marshall when everything is being brewed and shipped out.
So speaking of Marshall, Michigan, which has absolutely nothing to do with this, let's drink number 3.
All right, number 3.
This is number 3. So we did 2, 1, 3. That was the order we went through.
It's Warren G. Puppy Love. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3.
I mean, this tastes bad, so I'm probably sure it means it's good.
I'm not liking it.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting take on that one.
So we had Brad Reisner in the chat saying that they were hoping that the Right Brain merger would have gone through. They need to freshen up desperately. David in chat also said, I saw the number of tap handles go down and shelf space go down. That equates to on-premise sampling and off-premise volumes decline. Was that a function of focus or on other brands by their wholesale distributors?
I wonder if Brad means that Right Brain needed a refresh or if ROAK needed a refresh.
I think Right Brain, since he lives in Cadillac.
I mean, I was a lot of the things that Right Brain did, other than like the
it's not
the Mangalitsa, which was I thought was probably one of my favorites out of their
Is
group.
that the Scrapple beer?
That's no.
The Magnolista Porter?
That's the one that's brewed with pig parts. Yeah.
Yeah,
full pig head.
That was the one where in 3 beers in a category didn't medal.
Yeah.
World
I was never
guys.
the Naughty Girl Stout. I was never a fan of that one. Just
I like their Dead Kettle. I like the Dead Kettle.
I like their CEO Stout in its series.
The CEO Stout, the original CEO Stout, I will mess with that all day. It's when they started going to the variants that it just was not sitting.
Oh,
well
because
with me.
Dark Horse doesn't do variants?
All right, 16,000 crooked trees.
Speaking of
now we're gonna
16,000
get
crooked
72 power
trees, we are going to take a break. We'll be right back with segment 3, Better on Draft Podcast, if I can ever find the music.
Music.
Mama, please don't make me go. Yeah, I don't wanna go so far from home. Yeah, it's got me riding that wave. I got my money where my mind is, and I like it that way. Ha!
And we are back. Obviously, our break music is thanks to Brother Son, part of the Ferndale set. You can go check them out on Facebook, Ferndale set, as well as Brother Son on Facebook. We had some beers that we tried.
Yeah, we did.
We tried some New England IPAs, 3 of them to be exact. Matt knows all the answers, so I'll just talk with Rob real quick. If you were to rank them, like, good, not so good, and really not so good, what would you do? 3, 2, or 1, 2, 3?
So the last one that we had,
that was number 3. The last one we had was number 3. So the order we went was 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, 3.
The order that I give is 2, 3, 1. 1 being the worst.
I was pretty much going to. I think I was. Wait, I'm sorry. What was the last one again?
The last one we had was number 3.
Was 3.
We had 2, then we had 1,
And we
then
had
we had 3.
Okay. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus. I think I actually was probably going to end up just going straight in order 1, 2, 3.
You think number 1 was the best?
I
think I need to
like
fire
I
you
said,
from this show.
I might. It might be 2, 1, 3. And like I said, because 1 was different, but I didn't think it was worse or better than 2.
I thought number 2 was the best. Number 3 was the second. Number 1 was the third. 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
So and which one?
I'm gonna go 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, 3. All right.
2, 1,
So
3.
so we both agreed number 2 was the best, and number 2 is that's my drum roll. It's an M43.
Regular M43.
M43. All right. So we're not doing so bad.
Now this is where it gets funny.
Because here comes 1.
Well, so you like 3 better than 1, right?
I went. I like 3.
So I'm gonna give
2,
this
3,
to you.
1.
Hold this,
All right. I'm holding the can.
and then I'll
there's
give you
still
this
some.
one. Well, yeah, there's still left in both.
And you liked number 3 more than you liked number 1.
No, he liked number 1 more than 3, and you
Yeah.
like number 3 more than you like number 1.
Yes.
So I guess reveal your number, your second place
Here comes
finishers.
fucking Ice House.
Evil Twin Brewing. No snowflake even falls in the wrong place.
You liked it because that's like 5 months old,
I mean, that's fair.
and that's super fresh.
To be fair.
Be fair. All right.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Untreated Williamston water M40.
So that was number 1.
That was 1.
Williamston, and I didn't
Yes,
like it.
That was 1.
Sorry, I'm not sorry, to be honest.
I mean,
You should be appreciated. that you
That I like a barrel, or not a barrel aged, an aged New England IPA from Evil Twin.
you're not a fan of IPAs.
Yeah, I know. This was a terrible idea, at least for the fact that it was just the 3 of us.
Well, we
here.
usually have another guest and a guest, or another host and a guest, so this would have been a larger consensus.
Right.
All right. So Jamie Lynn posts in the book in the Facebook, if you fire Rob, I quit. Tim Boris says, I don't get White Claw. I keep trying it and forcing myself to try it again. What am I missing?
Have you
Nothing.
tried? Okay,
You're not missing
it's
anything.
Tim, right?
Just stop. Just stop.
Tim. Yep.
Right,
he has a
Tim.
last name that the letters are too blurred together for me to see.
All right, Tim, I'm going to talk to you. Let's have a come to Jesus moment.
Go listen.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna mute myself and Rob.
Can you bring me down a little bit? Because I was listening to the radio. I'm way too loud.
Unmute me. I need an intro. I need an intro on this. So this is White Claw Affirmations
Tim.
with Matt Bush.
I want to tell you that we appreciate you coming to the seltzer side. There's 2 different kind of seltzers. There's a fruit first seltzer
Bad and worse.
and a seltzer first seltzer. White Claw is very much a seltzer first seltzer. So if you don't like a little White Claw, A, maybe try a different flavor. B, move over to Truly, where it's a little bit more fruit forward to the seltzer. Or C, go to either a Clear Coast or Nat Water, which are super fruit forward, and then a little bit of seltzer. Or, and this is the fun one, put a little bit of vodka in your hard seltzer, and then you get to recall to the top. Pick your favorite flavor of vodka. Maybe it's a lemon vodka with a lime White Claw. You're gonna have a lot of fun. So let's do it that way. So Tim, I hope this helps.
I'm more of a gin guy with my my seltzers.
I think it's like come see, come saw. Like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I think
Get
it's
your ass some Kool-Aid and just throw some vodka. in
because
that shit.
there's no like I think juniper's too piney. I can't believe that you like gin, but you don't like an IPA. It's the same damn.
I love gin. I love a little
it's the
juniper.
same damn.
What are you
foliage.
talking about?
It's
I,
the
he-
same
I don't know.
fucking
He
foliage.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, what?
So Sean Anderson is claiming that White Claw is going to die in a bit, just like Mike's and Zima did.
Mike's and Zima still has a door in every.
Well,
bar
I mean,
he goes to.
it's gonna die. It's gonna die a slow death because we're coming into the fall season and people are not going to be drinking it that
You realize
much.
this is the third
And-
year that White Claw has been around, right? It
Sure.
just gets bigger. It's like an
It's-
ebb and a flow. Like the
it's-
fall is the ebb, and then the flow comes in every spring. Oh, I might have torn my
Wait,
labrum.
and I'm the old guy. What the fuck?
We've
I
got
sleep violently.
Joe Walters, who is the owner and brewer of Liberty Street. Go
What
check
up,
them out
Joe?
over in Plymouth.
He's bringing us
He
on.
says Matt is a genius.
Does he really say that? I think you're just fucking
Honest
with
to
me.
God, you can see it in the chat as
He
well
did
as
say you were a
vodka.
genius.
Vodka makes twisted tea better. Jamie Lynn says just add booze to your booze. It's more fun. I agree.
I agree, Mr. Jamie.
Again, you could join us each and every Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on Facebook, facebook.com/Better on Draft. Every time we are live on Facebook, we're going to be giving away a $20 gift card to the brewery of your choice, as long as we're live on Facebook and for as long as I care to do it. I don't know why I'm still drinking
I
this.
have no idea.
I mean, it's in my hand. It's like when you give someone a beer. I joined a local Facebook group, a beer group, because I needed to
I
join
quit
it.
one recently.
I needed to join it, and they said, "What are your 3 favorite beers?"
That was Michigan Craft Beer Enthusiasts.
it was.
You
So
know why
my
I know that? Because I was at Jimmy John's Field where we'll be hosting our beer fest.
yes,
and I
Jimmy
saw a
John's
man
Field Beer Festival.
apply for that Facebook group, and he literally looked at the 3 beers he had in front of him and wrote those down.
So you know what I did? I did cold, free, and next. My 3 favorite beers: cold, free, and next.
Hey, that's not wrong. It's not wrong at all.
Go ahead. We have like 26 different breweries at the Jimmy John's Beer Fest. Most of them are non-distributable or non-distribution beers, so you can only have them here or
Breweries.
at our brew house, or at their brew house rather. So you can go to tickets to uspbl.com, Jimmy John's Field on Facebook, Better on Draft on Facebook, and buy a ticket. There's only going to be about 1,200 to 1,500 people there at a ball field, so it's going to be a lot smaller than your average, Michigan Brewers Guild event because it's not going to be butts nuts crazy. But we're gonna have,
you know what I like about this festival? Even though we're running it, I like it for the fact that you're going to be able to try a bunch of different beers without people going hypo crazy over KBS, CBS, Bourbon Barrel Age Plead the Fifth.
You
and
want to
Night
know
stuff.
Fury.
about some people that committed this week?
Who's committed this week, Matt?
Recolt Meads
Recolt Meads.
Nice.
All right.
and drum roll please.
Youngblood
Youngblood Vineyards will be there. So you'll
Youngblood
have
Vineyards.
wine at the Brewfest. So
What?
literally,
Wine and mead at a brew fest?
Oh my God,
Who the
Jesus.
fuck would have thought of that?
so we're gonna have like the whole gamut. If it gets you drunk, it'll be there. So come try something. We're still working to get more heads in. So not more head like the college, but more heads of breweries in.
What you got about the Moorhead?
I
It's
don't.
about a month away, right?
It was a month away, 2 days yesterday.
Month away yesterday.
If you're listening and you're a brewer and you want to be a part of the beer fest, shoot us an email. We're still looking for people. We can probably put about 35 to 40 in. We've got about 26, so we'd like to have at least 30, which we have more than enough responses for. But we're looking for place that you can't generally just get in Metro Detroit. So if you're a Looking Glass Brewery or a Presidential Brewery or Cadillac Straits or Brew de Mac, somewhere
Right.
that you've got to travel, but you want your liquid to be here in Michigan or Southeast Detroit, Southeast Michigan, Metro Detroit.
North of 14 Mile.
Oh shit. Okay.
I will send the limousine for you.
Well, I
don't know. I
hey,
think we really should budget
wait,
for a limo
wait.
for Rob.
Just so you know, I have upgraded my up north standards now.
All right.
Jesus,
So-
this is cultural. This is like
So now, officially at this point, up north is no longer anything north of 14 Mile.
Big Beaver.
It is
16?
now anything that is north of M59.
So we're still north of
No,
north of
it's-
59.
Well, on the north side of M59.
We're still north of 59. We're north of the road.
And that, you know what? That's Buster's on the north side, so that's okay.
Why don't you just go to Livonia, Dave and Buster's?
Why don't you say 21 Mile?
I don't go to Because it's M59 to fucking me. After 14, I'm done. I don't have time for X mile.
Well,
If it's got a
then you
name,
can call 15 Mile Maple,
Then
16 Mile Big Beaver,
right?
17 Square
Well, Metro
Lake,
Parkway.
Long Lake,
Lake
yeah,
is
Metro
16
Parkway.
Mile has like
Yeah.
4 different names.
I know Corton at one point.
Metro Parkway, 16 Mile,
No.
and Big Beaver.
But no, that's it's not Dave and Buster's because the kids like going to CJ Barrymore's.
Yeah.
And so
right
Well,
across-
that's
oh,
south of 59 though.
and obviously
south
yes.
side of
But
59.
should we end up at Dave and Buster's, I have to make that exception that the north side of M59 is okay. So that region of M59, north or south, any structures
So I no
that are
longer have
there.
to send you a limousine to get you and pick you up?
No.
No more Metro car? For
No. I don't need a Metro car. I will get
But
there.
I'd be like, Shiler, Dad's getting in the limousine because he's a celebrity and he won't drive.
He's
to white people
styling
go.
and profiling, limousine riding.
I'm jet flying, damn right. Kiss stealing, all other stuff.
Wheeling and dealing.
Just don't tell his
wearing.
wife and
Gator-
Oh hell no!
Gator
I tell her
stepping.
you gotta be.
Rob. Give us another article.
All right. Actually, before I give you another article, I had a little announcement to make because
You're pregnant. It's gonna be a soccer player.
yeah, my fat already shows you I'm about 6 months in. So I signed up for a service not too long ago, and they've got a little special running. So this little bottle that I have in my hand here is a bourbon barrel-aged Baltic Porter, courtesy of Cycle Brewing, which comes out of Florida. Kind of a pain in the ass to get these suckers in Michigan because they don't distribute to Michigan. So I signed up for a little service called Tavor, which has recently just started distributing or
do you
started
spell that?
selling. That's spelled Tavour. And they recently just started shipping into Michigan. So if you get their app, which again, Tavour, you can purchase the beers that they are selling. And no matter how much you purchase during your shipping cycle, you can get $14.90 flat rate shipping. They actually have a promo code, which, bucket list thing now that I actually have my own promo code.
You've always had your own promo code in my heart.
I know. I appreciate that. So for new subscribers, there is the promo code ROBEAR, ROBEAR. And for new subscribers, those that sign up with that promo code, after the first $25 that you spend at Tavor, they will give you $10 towards your next purchase.
But that's
damn.
on beer only, not shipping.
That is on beer only. That does not count shipping, which right now they have probably one of the craziest beers that has been sought out and in a while, coming from Anchorage Brewing, called Endless Ending, which is it's a combination of their Deal with the Devil barley wine and their Darkest Hour Imperial Stout, where they blended both of them together and then put
Sounds
them.
like it'd get you fucked up.
Yeah, and then they put those into Double Oaked Woodford Reserve bourbon barrels for 18 months.
Someone's gonna die.
Well, hey, it's a small price to pay to die because one of those bottles is going for $34.99. So if you sign up with that promo code, buying that one bottle is enough to give you that $10 credit.
What you want to do is get beer arbitrage. Like just start selling it for like $40 now.
Are you saying Armitage?
Arbitrage.
Armitage?
That's how they are spelled the same. I mean, this
Just
is
start selling it now for $50.
this
and
isn't
buy some
hyperbole.
Tavor.
Come on.
So would I be able to get White Claws since nobody can, with the shortage and stuff?
They don't have White Claws. They have a lot of kind of obviously things that are not distroed to Michigan. There's breweries from Washington, from Seattle from Redmond
Is there
to
a description of
Louisiana.
how this is legal though? They're just
I mean, it
can't
apparently
catch me.
It apparently
Can't
is
stop me,
legal.
can't
So
catch me?
basically, you order the beer, you set your shipping date, and then whatever beers you have purchased on that shipping date, they ship out, and it goes to a local delivery company, which actually is actually not even a mile from where we are recording right now, and it goes to that delivery company, and then they deliver it to your house. So this stuff comes direct to your house. Obviously, somebody over 21 has to be there to sign for it.
Is this like an US Bus thing? Or a FedEx or a UPS or
It's well, I mean, it's not
shipped?
It's not a FedEx or an UPS because a FedEx or UPS doesn't ship alcohol, and they don't do that.
USPS does. Well, they don't think they do, but they're the best.
They
drug dealers
don't
in the
think
world.
they involuntarily ship alcohol.
They're
Let's
the
put it
best
that
You
way.
know,
Dealers in
it's
the
been
world.
like a year since you mentioned Mitch Hedberg here.
Really, that wasn't a Mitch Hedberg.
That was a Mitch
That
Hedberg
was
joke.
totally a Mitch Hedberg joke.
USPS.
I'm saying I got my Sirius XM back. I've been hearing Mitch Hedberg.
That's definitely a Mitch Hedberg. Like my drug dealer doesn't even know he's a drug dealer, and it's a FedEx person or something like that. Yeah, that's a Mitch Hedberg
Oh,
joke.
I didn't know that. I don't want to take credit for that.
I just assumed that you knew it because obviously your Zatuna Liquor Cigars, It's a Boys is a
But isn't that everybody's cigar of choice? It's baby blue. It's brown on the outside.
no. I love cigars, and
If
if I didn't want to get like smoke and all my technology, I would do a cigar show. But fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
we can always make it a one night. As Enrique Iglesias said, bailamos.
Let
Just
the
one
rhythm take you over.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right, so we'll be
So Tavor, Robert.
You can go to Tavor.com. And again, you can download the app. It is available on Android and Apple.
Is it on my BlackBerry?
It might be under BlackBerry. You might have to check with RAM on that one. But we'll be getting some. They are supposed to be shipping us a box of beer. I have instructed them to, at most, only put one IPA in the box. So
Where's the fun in that?
I don't.
Simple, not drinking IPAs.
So hopefully, when we get our first box, that we'll be able to kind of unbox it here and just basically just drink the beers that are coming out of there. I may have to chill those.
Well, we
a
do
bit.
have another box to talk about.
We do. What's that box?
Now can we fire him?
Yeah, I think we could fire him for that one.
My beer box, which also has a promo code Robert.
What? I can't just say like what, but like I'm trying to tease this.
How
shit.
many boxes do you have?
That's a personal question. It sounds like.
That's dirty as fuck. You know that, right?
What does it matter?
I got a lot of USPS boxes that are sitting in the basement right now.
That MI beer box. You know what I'm excited for? We're in September.
More
It's
hoodies.
almost October, and it's gonna be hoodie
Putting that
weather.
hoodie right the fuck back
I
on.
am.
God.
I'm looking at it like I have it like hung up, ready to go for the first day that I can wear it. Yeah, that MI beer box t-shirts beer hoodie for sure. Yeah.
Point.com.
What's
Yeah,
that?
no, we'll have long sleeve tees. We had tanks in July because I mean, who doesn't need a tank in July? Long sleeve tees.
Never.
We've changed our box to smaller boxes, so they're better to ship. They're better to have fun with.
And now that I actually have like how t-shirts work in regards to buying them, November, you're going to have an extra shirt shipped out to you. Thanks to Better on Draft, you're going to have a Better on Draft shirt. We haven't come up with the design yet, but I'm pretty sure the back is going to say, no matter what you think, or it's going to say, we think it's better on draft.
I think it's better on draft.
I think, sure, why not? I don't know.
I mean, because it's the person wearing it. It's in a plural sense. Would make
Yeah,
it
you
a
don't
little
want the
less-
British we.
The royal we.
Oh,
Yeah,
UI?
exactly. The royal we.
the French we.
Not the French we.
The
So yeah,
circumcised
so
or the uncircumcised?
the November pack is going to have a Better on Draft shirt in it too.
That'll be
So
fun.
better to get to your 3 month then.
Yeah, code draft DRAFT, 20% off when you order. So why not order and get 20% not paid to me or paid to us rather instead.
Paid me. Well done. Well done.
To us.
That was smooth.
Well, without a guest, it's kind of been a good show. I think it's time to end show.
So it's time for so long.
It's time for so long.
So I'm here to sing
I
this
can't
song.
throw in this multi-Mormon mix-up.
You know what? Why not?
right.
Get the multi-Mormon
Well, are we
big
gonna
sub.
do the shot real
Everyone's
quick
got
first?
the
No.
everyone's got the shot. We'll do the shot right after Rob wants to do his multi-Mormon mix-up.
I'm just curious about this one. So beer drinkers in Utah are going to kind of run into a bit of a beer shortage in the coming month due to a law change that's happening in the region. We've talked about 3.2 beers, which of course are those beers where they are ABV of 3.2 or lower, and they have been kind of a mainstay of the likes in Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma. But
God, I hate those states.
Kansas and Oklahoma has now changed the law where grocery stores can now have beers that are higher ABV than 3.2. So now with the law being gone, Kansas and Oklahoma has been basically getting rid of all of these beers. And so the beer manufacturers have seen this and just said, you know what, we're just not even going to make it anymore, which kind of puts Utah into a bit of an issue because Utah still has the law that they have to have 3.2 or less ABV beers in the grocery stores. The state legislature has gone through some negotiations recently, and they've now approved a change to increase the ABV maximum to 5%, which is going to take place on November 1st. The problem is that come October 15th, all of the 3.2 beers are essentially going to be off the shelf. They're not going to be there's no more coming in. So the stores are going to be allowed, well, actually for all of them, really, in this case, all the stores are going to be allowed to warehouse the bigger beers until they can be sold on November 1st. But that's not going to potentially stop them from running low or possibly even running out of these 3.2 beers in a few weeks, especially, it's Utah. There's not really much else, I think they have to do other than watch football, and you're a little low on beer. So I was kind of thinking about that and just thinking, what if we had kind of the reverse situation here? Although the way I painted it was a hell of a lot more extreme. Was, let's say, our ABV rules change and all of a sudden they went down to a maximum of 5%. And, our legislation, which I won't get into, basically takes 4 months to agree on increasing it, but only increasing it to about 12%. What do you think your typical craft beer store is going to look like during this climate when you've got an ABV limit of 5%?
In Utah?
No, I'm saying here.
Have you ever seen the movie The Mist? Where, like, everything is fucking gone? What was the other movie?
You think they're just going to hit, just Thanos is just going to snap the shit out of them?
Or like Bird Box, where they, like, roll up and, like, there's, like, blank shelves and, like, dead people? I think it might be that. Like,
damn.
Am I wrong?
I mean, that's a bit extreme. I mean, well, and I mean, there's, I guess to me,
people fighting over Evil Twin, New England IPA.
I mean, I guess there's a lot that goes into it because then you're talking about
where do you have the White
breweries.
Claw shortage?
At this point, you've got the breweries who can't package or sell, their, well, basically package, because I'm kind of trying to relate this to being in grocery stores. So we're talking about stuff that's distroed. And so anything that is above 5% doesn't go to the shelves for 4 months.
But the thing is, like, in grocery stores, like, people don't go to grocery stores for beer. And I guess this is a long
You're going to
conversation.
Meijer.
No, because they don't. Because fucking Karen goes to Meijer to buy her groceries, and she buys her husband a suitcase, and he drinks it maybe once a week, and she goes there every week or twice. People go to liquor stores to buy beer on a multiple time basis.
All right. So if we were to change this to 5%, based on Beer Advocate, because it's the only one that
White
I
Claw's
could
out, right? Or
aggregate.
Five is
Yeah,
five.
this is straight beer.
Can't get for local.
Out of the top 100 beers, what number is the first beer to be under 5%? Top 100 rated beers on Beer Advocate.
Is this something we've had?
Yes, it is.
What is the number out of the top 100 that is under 5%?
I'm going to ask you a question.
You can ask me any question you want.
Is Sierra Nevada Pale Ale under 5%?
This is Michigan beers, so I don't know.
Well, you didn't say Michigan beers, did you?
I'm pretty sure I said Michigan beers
Robbie, you heard
twice.
I
Michigan
don't
beers?
believe I heard you say Michigan beers.
Michigan beers.
All right, Michigan beers. So
Michigan Light
this is
beers.
top 100 Michigan beers.
Yeah.
You want to know where
where the first 5% or below beer
48.
is.
I'm going to go higher or lower than Card Shark.
Card Sharks. I'm card sharking
Higher
the
or
shit
lower
out of
than
this.
48?
Now I would say higher. I would probably say that would be around like 26, 27.
So lower, not higher.
Well, higher in ranking. It's
Yeah,
ranking.
okay. But is the number higher or lower?
The number is lower.
Okay. So 0 out of the top 100 are under 5%.
Win. I'm the card shark
Zero.
master champion.
0
figured there
are
had at least been
below
one.
5%.
Shorts local light.
There are more in the 14%
Well-
ranking than there are in the 4% ranking.
Well, if there's one in the 14%, that would be a win.
There's more
I mean,
than
that
one.
basically is saying
There's
that kills Michigan
5
beer
in the
economy.
14%. Between 14.00 and 14.99, there is 5 in there, including bourbon barrel aged barley wine from Kunin, Canuckley from Transient, Kentucky from Transient, Buckley from Transient, and bring in the Ruckley from Transient.
Yes. Oh,
So
damn it.
really, it's 1 Kunin and 4 Transients on that one. Guys, Better on Draft podcast. We are live each and every Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, congratulations to Brad for winning the $20 gift card to the brewery of his choice. He told us in the chat, but I told him to message us, and if he doesn't, well, he doesn't get it, because obviously I'm not going to fucking remember. Guys, this week's shot.
It's a shot.
The shot.
It doesn't smell terrible.
It is an aquavit, not a flavored one, from the Spirit of York in Toronto, Ontario. Cracked it open today, brand new. I chilled it a little for you guys. So if you've never had an aquavit, it's kind of like a vodka.
Okay.
And we'll say salute to our sponsors, Michigan Beer Box,
Michigan beer box.
T-shirts,
Beerbox.com.
MichiganBeerBox.com,
MyBeerBox.com.
MyBeerBox.com,
There you go.
T-shirts.beer, North Center Brewing, Zatuna Liquor. Of course, go check out all the Michigan breweries at mibeermap.com, because that's as up to date as I know it is. We've had over 450,000 people check that out.
It's probably because it's me. Because I'm just like, where's the next brewery? Actually, funny story. I had a lady she threw her phone against the wall because she couldn't get the My Beer Mac off her phone.
Not my
'cause
problem.
She couldn't find the button. I'm like, it's right there. It's like, oh, it doesn't work. She's like, fat.
So let's drink it. Tell me what you think, and then we'll head out.
All right.
Oh,
Not too bad. I like it warmer though.
can we stop doing this, please?
What is the problem?
What is your problem? I thought you liked liquor. I thought you were in a fraternity.
Seriously, right? And this dude is just slamming hard seltzers, and you can't take this?
I
Do
feel
you,
like
do you want me
there's-
to bring more shooter drinks as opposed to nice drinks?
This just doesn't taste good.
Have you ever had an aquavit you liked?
No, I mean, I've had 2 aquavits, and you've given me both. And
I
don't-
honestly, for me, the dill one was better.
What?
Yeah.
You are on drugs.
No, I'm not. I was a fan of the dill one, but
Technically, yeah.
not a fan of this one. I love this one. I had it. My girlfriend and I, we went to Toronto to go see a wrestling show, and we stopped at Spirit of York, and we pretty much didn't go anywhere else because we're like, fuck, this stuff is really, really good. Go check them out. They're in the distilling
Actually,
district
Probably don't.
over in Toronto.
Just stick to beer.
That's gonna do it for us. Better on Draft.
This tastes like sourdough bread.
This is amazing.
Oh, if you like the taste of sourdough bread and brine.
You can join us each and every Friday on Facebook Live. Join us in the conversation. We're going to be giving away $20 gift cards. No matter what you think of your beer, we think
It's not aquavit.
Better on Draft. Have a good night.
Peace.